This is a chart that I have found more helpful than I ever thought it would be, working with clients and teaching students about assertiveness and how it can impact mental health and improve our relationships. And there's several theories out there, and maybe many of them hit on it, about how improving our relationships is such a huge factor in terms of improving our mental health and our well-being. But with assertiveness and assertiveness training, as you've heard it, as we look on the one end, we've got being passive, which is when we can kind of allow people to take advantage of us, or we're not confronting folks about stuff that we find important, in terms of our own integrity and our values. And with passiveness, it can be, you see the easy, hard. It can be easy initially not to say anything. But then it winds up being hard later because we wind up feeling used and not respected. And so that's where the easy hard comes in. It can be easy to not say anything, but it's harder later just in that we lose our self-respect. With aggressiveness, that's when we tend to fly off the handle, say stuff that we wish we didn't, maybe say it in a tone that we wish we didn't. And maybe we're too confrontive, and that's easy for us to do as well. We can all kind of fly off the handle and say things we wish we didn't. And then the hard piece of that is that later we don't feel good about ourselves, and we can kind of lose respect, self-respect as well. So the assertiveness is in the middle, of course, and this is where we do address issues when they arise. This could be with a partner or with a boss or with a friend, a colleague or what have you. And it's always hard. Nobody likes to have those conversations. It's always hard, and we can shake and we can sweat and we can blush and we can dread it for days before having to have it, which is why it's also better to address things immediately when it's an issue, if at all possible. Sometimes we do need to seek consultation before we do it, but a lot of times there's less energy built, and we can kind of handle it in a way where our tone and our defensiveness or our aggressiveness doesn't get in the way if we handle things immediately. So it can be hard to have assertive conversations. Again, we can have all kind of physiological reactions, and nobody likes having these. So you'll hear people say, well, I don't like to be assertive, or I don't like confrontation. Nobody likes it. So that you can help people help clients and students normalize that. Typically, however, it's hard to do it, but we feel better at the end, so that's the easy piece. We feel better about ourselves that we've approached something and addressed something that we needed to about a relationship. Now, it may not have improved the relationship. I think a lot of times it can, but we can never predict what somebody else is going to, how they're going to react. But what we can do is always address things in an appropriate manner, to where we're not denying and being a doormat as when we're passive, or yelling and fighting, or being abusive when we're aggressive. We're handling it in a mature and a professional and hopefully a logical way. It's not easy to do, but we feel better about ourselves later. So hopefully this is good assertiveness training, and maybe a tool that you can use with clients or students.